Director Steven Spielberg is joined by Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, and Bob Hoskins to create the epic fantasy adventure, Hook. Inspired by author J.M. Barrie's classic 1904 stage play, Peter Pan, Hook is the all-new story of Peter as a grown man with no memory of who he once was.
Peter, don't you know who you are?
Peter Banning is a man who's forgotten how to enjoy his life. He's a man who has no imagination. And the twist on this story is he once had imagination personified. He once was the imagination, being the Pan, when he was 12 years old, 12, 13 years old. When he came and he grew up, he lost his imagination and he became sort of a face in the crowd. And his kids are kidnapped by Captain Hook and taken to Neverland.
He's come back to seek his revenge.
Have to fly, have to fight, have to save Maggie, have to save Jack. Okay's back. Who?
This fantastical world suddenly intrudes into your real world, takes your children and goes away. And then you're told, no, if you want them back, you have to become Peter Pan. Snap! Hunt him! This is, the beginning. And it's like an exorcism. He has to kind of get back and bring out this little boy that he's buried for 20-some-odd years.
Let's fly!
Oh, my God, where are we going?
To Neverland.
Where?
Returning to the long-forgotten world of his youth, Peter is forced to confront his old nemesis, the vengeful Captain Hook.
Hello, children. Comfy?
Those are my kids! Those are my kids!
I think that what mortally wounds Hook in the first scene he has with Peter Banning is the fact that there's very little difference anymore between Captain Hook and Peter Pan. That Peter Pan became Peter Banning, who grew up to become Captain Hook. And I think that really hurts Hook a lot.
Is it you? My great and worthy opponent? But it can't be. Not this pitiful.
There's something admirable about Hook, and therefore dimensional, because at least Hook doesn't kill him outright. He says, oh, so you're Peter Pan. He says, but you're not the Peter Pan I knew. It's not fulfilling to kill Peter Banning. It's fulfilling to kill Peter Pan.
You promised people the war of the century. Mortal Kombat, glory. Hulk versus Pan! 1 week and I'll get him in shape. And you can have your dirty old war.
2 days.
4. Bare minimum for a decent Pan.
3. Final offer.
Done.
Guided by Tinkerbell, Peter's journey takes him through the magical world of Neverland.
She has to protect Peter from Neverland in a way, because it's a bit shocking and sort of reacquainting the Lost Boys with Peter Pan and Peter Pan with the Lost Boys.
Kill the lion!
The life in Neverland is just sort of this fantastic chaos all the time. Everybody just sort of goes along with their day, running around and you see Neverland. It's like an amusement park.
Help me! Help me! Not you! Not you!
Cut! Robin, it's great, we got it. Print that one.
To create Neverland, some of the largest sets ever designed were constructed on a number of sound stages at Sony Studios in Culver City. After 6 months' work, Pirate Town, Hook's Galleon, and the rest of Neverland were ready for filming.
The sets themselves were so, as elaborate and as crazy as they looked, and as big and such a scale, there's something kind of very, very real and very human about it, too. The town had such sense of detail that it didn't look like a set, it looked like a town.
People spend hours and days carving out a thing like this and the meticulousness of everything. I mean, you have a whole soundstage going up that high, and you have a ship that big, and you go to the next soundstage, and you got Neverland, then you go to the other place, you got another piece of Neverland. I mean, it is magic. No one had ever seen the likes of it.
In addition to the sprawling stages of Neverland, detailed oversized set pieces were created to place Tinkerbell in proper perspective.
All the oversized sets were great. I mean, you know, I'd be on a table, a huge table with vegetables so big that I looked really tiny. And I told Steven he would have saved a lot of money if he'd hired a shorter actress, but he didn't, so.
Real slow. Ready? And.
To prepare for Hook's climactic showdown, stars Hoffman and Williams spent months rehearsing their sword fighting. And when cameras finally rolled, they found themselves caught up in the excitement of the battle.
I loved it. That's where you get to be a little kid again. You're fighting pirates. As we went on, it just got to be more and more fun. And by the end, it was literally like, come on! Come on! And they said at the end they wanted to kind of stop for fear that I really would kind of start like, break out. Because it was a blast. It was, I started to think about it, and I get like, my eyes get like, and I get that, it's legalized mayhem.
It's a juggling act because it has so many different levels. We have huge sets, we have special effects, but this isn't really a movie about sets and battles and special effects and believing that Tink can fly and believing that Peter can fly and things like that. You know, this is sort of a story about close-ups. This is a story about Peter and Hook and Peter's family. And in that sense, there's an intimacy and there's a tenderness in a lot of this movie.
Peter.